All right.
Remind me.
Welcome, and welcome, Barbara. It's nice to have somebody in the audience today.
I know.
It's a treat. So can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna move over there because I can't see everybody.
Okay, that's fine. You can have your pick of seats, Barbara. Really?
I know, let me see. Well, I'll choose this one.
Okay. So, all right. So, we are all here and present with the exception of Lorelei, who had a commitment today and was unable to be present. And unless if somebody would like to take the minutes and do them in her absence, I would accept your offer. Otherwise,
Wasn't she
Mr.
gonna?
Menor, it's just a minute, please, let me
Okay,
finish.
I was gonna say, don't
Just-
start
I'm
with.
just- No, I'm just offering and giving people an opportunity
Oh,
to
okay.
step up and help out if they wish. Do we have any volunteers? No? Well, that's a
Nobody
good
wants
thing
to.
because Lorelei said
Nobody
she would
wants
do
that
them
job.
from the tape if that was necessary. So I'm just saying,
Oh, but Jean's here, maybe she'd like to do it.
I'm sure.
Those who come late, you know.
We got you set up right over there with your packet and everything, Jean.
Thank you.
I have both finance
Anyway,
committee.
I'm just making the
Permit
comment that
tonight,
Lorelei has
this
agreed,
week.
even though she's not here today, she's agreed to do the minutes for us from the tape of the meeting, unless somebody volunteered and really wanted to do them.
Oh,
And so I offered that opportunity, and I got no response. So, I'm
Nobody-
just letting you know.
and I love the new minutes.
She does a great job. She does an absolutely, I think she does a wonderful job.
She does.
so.
These were very good. I like
Yeah.
these.
So anyway, okay, that's where we're at then. All of the board is present with the exception of Lorelei. And Nicole is here today representing the director. Liz is on leave, or just not in.
Yes.
And so Nicole is stepping in for her and going to be providing information as we need it. So, thank you, Nicole.
Thank you.
We appreciate that. And she's also the one that's monitoring, I think, if there are people online in the waiting room.
Yes.
Would you let
No,
me
but-
know?
Yes,
if
I
we
will.
do, if that happens during the meeting?
Yep.
So, thank you. Okay. And I just have to remind everybody, this is an open meeting. We have to abide by the open meeting law. So if you find that I'm making an error, let me know, please. So, that could happen. All right, we're down to announcements on our agenda. Does a board member have an announcement to make? Anyone? All right, well, maybe I'll start off by just saying I hope everybody had a great holiday season. And it's good to be together. Again, we did not meet in December, just to remind people. And it's nice, I think. I've been looking forward to this meeting.
I could make an announcement that the craft class is not meeting in January
Okay?
because the three of us are taking a leave of absence to recuperate and come up with ideas for the rest of the year. And so we will be back in February.
You're re-energizing, huh?
Yeah, we're trying to, anybody here who has ideas that you want to share with us, Sue and I, so that we can put a good program together for the year, let me know.
Or anybody watching, if you have an
Or
idea.
anybody watching.
Anybody watching, if you
Let us
have an
know.
idea, you can always call the office and ask to speak to Nicole. Can they speak to you if they had a thought about the craft class? Because Nicole's responsible for the programming. So that would be,
Yes.
a good connection.
Yeah.
Okay, great. And I have one announcement, and this announcement came about as a result of a meeting that both Nicole and I attended earlier this this week. No, it was last week. Last
Yeah.
week, yeah. Anyway, and, there's a big push in the state of Massachusetts to have towns and cities become dementia-friendly towns and cities, et cetera. And so a group called the Aging Network News has put together an opportunity for everyone to become a Dementia Friends champion. You all in packet, and senior board members, you should have a copy of this handout in your packet toward the back, just in case you're interested in doing it. But if you read this, and I wanted to get the word out to people that might watch this board meeting, because The opportunity is available for all adults and high school students in Massachusetts. And it's a free 2.5-hour virtual training. You don't have to go anyplace, you can do it right in your own home. It's a virtual training to become a Dementia Friends champion. So it will give you the knowledge and the materials you need to lead your own Dementia Friends information session for your family, friends, co-workers, or others in your community. It's a great opportunity, 2.5 hours of sitting in front of your computer, essentially, and really, and you have down here, the board members have, it's happening on Wednesday, January 25th, 9:30 in the morning to 12 noon. And there is a link here. And Nicole you want to explain to people how they can access information, Nicole?
Yes, so if people have questions, they can call me directly and I can get you the link. I'm also going to I'll put it on our Facebook page and I'll be sending it out in our weekly email
Great.
That I send out every Thursday.
Great. That's a great opportunity. I think people, we should encourage, tell your friends and your neighbors and other people about it. It's a great opportunity to learn a little bit more about dementia. So,
Nicole, will there be another time that they might do this again?
It looks to me like they do it every few months
Okay.
from what I've seen. So I can keep you posted as to when the next one is if you want.
yeah. So and if you don't hear anything, bring it up again in a couple of months if you think about it, so.
Yeah.
'Cause it is a great opportunity.
I think I can't make it, that's why.
Oh, well,
I have to check my calendar.
so I know that the word is getting out to Acton, Boxborough,
Yeah.
Littleton, as a result of the Chima group that the three towns are a part of, so,
Yep.
yeah. So, that's the only announcement really I have. I thought, well, we have to somehow try to get the word out to people. It's so hard to do that nowadays. Thank you. Any other announcements from anybody that popped into your head? No? Okay. Then we are moving on to accepting the minutes. And please note that these minutes that you're accepting are from the November 14th meeting. We did not hold a meeting in December. We really did not have any business that needed attention. And so therefore, these minutes did not get approved. And there are no minutes from December.
I have one.
I'll move to accept
I have
them.
one.
Oh,
I don't know if it's a correction or an addition, that Marge was absent,
Right.
and I stepped in as the chairman for that meeting. And I think in the minutes, when that happens in any board, that should be recognized in the minutes, that
The record should show that.
show that, the vice chair stepped in.
Right.
That's the only comment I have. Everything
Okay.
else was good.
So I think we can ask Lorelei to add that, if the board agrees, up to, under the header of members present, perhaps.
I
And
will-
then, because down there in that section 2, it said that I was absent, or you could put it right after that.
Right.
In my absence, Anita was the
I
vice
move-
chair was,
I move to accept the minutes as amended.
okay.
Second.
All right. Any other discussion about the minutes? Okay. Then we're going to take a vote. Jean?
Yes.
Jean is a yes. And Joe?
Yes.
Thank you. David?
Yes.
I am going to abstain. I was not present, so I'm abstaining. Anita?
Yes.
Susan?
Yes.
And Lee?
Yes.
And Marilyn?
Yes.
Wonderful. The minutes are approved as amended, as changed. Thank you. Very good. Okay, and we do not have a member of the Friends Board present. We have a guest who is a very important friend. Associate now, but has a long history, as we know, with the Friends. So it's good to have you here, Barbara. And so we're going to skip over the Friends report. I know that they are I think in a situation of flux right now and, kind of reorganizing into the new year, so. We will move on to reports and the director's report. Now, Joe and Jean have to share the director's report. Liz just sent that in to us, so, and we're short one copy, I'm sorry. but-
All right, we'll share. We learned
Okay,
that in
and Anita
kindergarten.
and I are sharing, we're sharing too, so anyway. So we have a printed director's report, and I don't think you have had any time really to look at it too much.
Nicole's gonna go over it.
You're gonna go over it?
I
Nicole's
can
gonna
read
go
it.
through it with
Nicole's
us?
going
Great.
over
Okay, thank you, Nicole.
Okay. So for donations, we received several donations in December. We received $1,300 from Loving Stitches for the TREAD program and for a program speaker. We received $2,000 from Mark Rombacher for a fuel assistance fund and $5,000 from FIBA Technologies for fuel assistance fund. Last week, we also received the following donations. The Vincent Cooper Charitable Foundation received $5,000, the Gore Charitable Foundation, $2,500, and the Burroughs Charitable Foundation, $250. There is a new building update. LLB Architects is working closely with the Commodore builders, reviewing the plans and finding areas for potential value engineering. High-level overview of details are being worked on currently. They are the sewer and electrical systems and their tie-ins to the existing systems. We are exploring an all-electric building. PMBC rep is also involved in these discussions. We've designed the building to be accessible after hours, like the library, for community and meeting rooms. We had planned a gate to separate the main building to the meeting rooms, but the building code does not allow for the gate to be where it would need to be. So we will move to a key fob lock door system instead to limit the access to rooms such as the fitness room and other rooms that we use. For stats, we had 834 sign-ins to our programs in December. This is the highest number for this fiscal year. We offered 79 programs, activities, opportunities for engagement in December. And the budget, the EHS COA budget is being presented to FinCom and the Select Board on January 24th. Our fiscal year 24 budget has remained intact, no cuts from initial administration review. It is nearly level to the prior fiscal year with the main increases due to inflation such as the meal site food and wage increases as appropriated in the last town meeting. Liz will present the budget at the next COA board meeting. And Liz has begun discussing the impacts of a new building on the fiscal year 25-26 budget and staffing levels. And she will be meeting with the FinCom rep, Fred Faulkner, this week to review the budget and discuss further budget projections.
Great. Wow. There's a lot going on, as usual. Those,
Yeah.
and the statistics, really, I think the 834 sign-ins is amazing. That's a big number, I think, if I'm not
Well,
mistaken.
79 programs in December.
I know.
That's pretty good, too.
Oh, it was wild.
Oh, it was wild.
Yeah.
I mean, it was wild when the calls were coming in.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well,
There were a
for
lot
people
that
signing
were
up.
double lapped and you had to switch some
Wait.
people, some of the
Well, which one did you
programs
want?
around because they were overlapping.
But I've heard a lot of very positive comments, and people are excited. Plus, the interesting thing is, we're getting a different age group participating, which is really exciting. I mean, I think we're starting to, get a flow of people in their 60s, and even
People
some.
are starting to retire, I think.
Well, yeah.
And so they're free to go. They couldn't
Yeah,
go
and-
before.
And the word, we've been getting the word out more and more and more about the availability of programs and things. So, yeah, and I've seen a lot of new faces. Yeah, which is very exciting and rewarding, I think. So,
I think a lot of people are understanding EHS more,
right.
that it's not just a COA board. It's an everybody board.
Well, yes,
Everybody.
it's.
It's an everybody office.
Yeah. So, I mean, the fact is, Elder and Human Services exists, and their primary focus is, yes, meeting the needs of seniors. However, their responsibility, entire responsibility, is to the entire town in all age levels. So, and that's very difficult for people to understand. We could say it every month, I think, at this meeting, and it
Right.
still would not, it would be misunderstood. But, yes, and so I think that people are understanding that more and more, so. It's an exciting time, and I'm personally am looking forward to this year and seeing our new building getting closer, and we're getting closer and closer and closer to it, so. I find that very exciting.
If it's like the library, when you build a new library, your circulation will triple.
Well,
And every time you build something, it will triple, so your attendance will probably triple.
I've heard that, we've heard that from other facilities when they have opened, that the numbers have doubled or more than, yeah, tripled, yep. So,
It
yes,
is exciting.
it is, very exciting, so. So, get all your energy in place. And it's just like, there are new programs coming up that are just so much fun. I mean, if you look at the broadcaster, what was the one, what's that, the group for the men now, what's it called?
Romeo.
Romeo, oh my gosh, that sounds so funny. You know, if you read it, it just sounds like a
who
great.
came up with
program.
that? Nicole, who came up with that?
Oh, it's like a
Nationwide.
nationwide.
Oh, it is?
Yes. Yes.
But then you also have you're starting the Restaurant Hoppers group.
Yes.
I love that, the name of that, and I understand
That'll
quite
be
a few
cool.
people have signed up for that already, and it's not occurring until January 31st.
Right.
So,
I remember when they used to do that.
the Restaurant Hoppers,
Yep. When I first became living here as a senior citizen, we used to go out to lunch once a month with the COA. Yep.
well, yep, well,
So I'm glad to see
So
it
it's back.
Yeah, that's what I said to Nicole one
Yeah,
day.
it's
I'm
just-
glad to see it back.
it's nice the broadcast is always exciting to see. I had to pick up my hard copy today when I came in, so here it is. But, yeah, so, it's
And
lots
those
nice
of you at
things.
home that don't get the broadcaster, please feel free to call the office
Oh.
and get on the mailing list so that you get one every month.
Right.
Because there are so many things happening. I mean, there's a lot of new ones in there that weren't there last month. When Sue and I start to do our TV show, we look at it, and there's always 4 or 5 different new ones that we have to talk about that wasn't there before.
Yeah.
So everybody that's watching should contact the office to get a copy.
Good point, thank you.
Or they can look at it up on the web, because
Or on
it
the
comes
web.
out.
A lot of
yeah.
people still don't use the computer, though.
Right.
You know.
I don't.
Yeah.
But I know that some
Yeah.
of my
You
neighbors
can.
don't want the paper because they've got it on the web.
Well,
So
that's
it made
true.
me
Right.
think about, that's
Yeah.
another thing to encourage people if they,
Well, slowly, we're going to transition into that anyway, because slowly, the population is going to be,
but there are people that's what they
Right,
use
right.
now.
yep.
Is the broadcaster sent out only to you if you request it?
Yes.
Yes.
We don't do it town-wide. In the past, historically, I think there's been like occasionally, once a year, a town-wide
We used to do
distribution.
it twice a year before town meeting, a town-wide.
Okay.
Way
mailing.
back, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah.
we never requested it, and it was coming to our house, so I was wondering how
Oh.
that happened.
I probably requested it.
Well, if
Well,
you didn't
we
request
gave
it as a
it-
board member, he should be getting it automatically.
Do you
He's
get
been
it,
on board
Joe,
with it.
automatically?
Do you get it?
I got it.
You get it?
Because it's supposed to be automatic if you're a board member.
Okay.
So that might be why it was coming.
But I thought we were getting it before you were
Oh,
on the
maybe,
board.
maybe.
And so I was just wondering
No,
how,
yeah, but-
how
yeah.
that happens.
It's it's a transition, but, yeah.
Marge, can I get back and I'm going to ask Nicole a question about the building?
Certainly.
You had mentioned that you can't use a gate to lock up a section. So how is your section going to be separated from being used at night? That obviously you want your stuff protected.
Right. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, I have no idea, because this was Liz's report. So what I believe that they're going to have, there was some discussion about locking, so all of the rooms are going to have doors that you can lock. So there would be access, someone would get a fob if they were going in for a meeting in the evening, that would only allow them access to the main meeting rooms. You wouldn't be able to use that to enter like the fitness room, et cetera. So it would only allow you access to where you're booked to go.
And that will protect your office and Liz's office and that type of thing.
Right,
All
Right, all the
that's-
confidential documents and also all of our equipment and, fitness equipment, arts equipment, things like that. It
Okay.
would only be that one area where people could go.
It would be like the library, when they come downstairs and use those 2 rooms that are open, we lock the young adult office, room, and the children's room, and the historical room. They're all locked. So people can be down there, but they can't have access to those parts of the library.
But in the library, don't you also have a whole gate that comes down?
That just protects the upstairs, but we have a whole downstairs library too. So those rooms are locked.
With the exception of the room, Sturt, what's the?
Sturts and Murray are the only two that you can use when the library
Right, and that's where the select board meets now.
Correct.
Sturt's room, and
Sturts.
we've had, Stretch and Flex has been held over there a couple of times. It's carpeted, not the best place for an exercise group, but
Yeah.
in a pinch, it worked, so, but, yeah. So, well,
Yeah.
it will be secured, but that's a good question, Joe. Yeah. And they haven't finished, they're still exploring that, but that's unfortunate, because it would be nice if you could just more easily close it off.
I wonder if the plans are set in stone so that they're saying that gate just can't be there, or whether they could arrange it differently. I wonder.
I don't think the plans are set in stone.
They're
It's
never
still a
set in
working-
stone because there's always engineering change orders.
Right, it's still a work in process.
I wonder
and
what the
then
building
there's the
code
change
is that
orders,
doesn't
too.
allow it for the gate. I would be interested in understanding.
I wrote myself a note to ask tomorrow night.
Oh, okay,
Well, it might have something to do with, fire exit or.
probably must.
Or, just.
If
by
it's
the
blocking
location
a
of the
doorway,
design,
if it would
just says, no,
block an
you can't do it.
exit, then I can see why they would do it.
Who knows?
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure they have good reason. I'm not
Oh, yeah,
questioning that for sure, but
Yeah.
it's kind of fascinating, but,
yeah.
okay. Any other questions for Nicole about the director's report, if she could answer them? But if not, and it's really a pressing question, Liz will be in, what, Thursday?
Wednesday.
Oh, Wednesday.
Wednesday, yeah.
So, hang on to it, and we can find out from Liz when she comes in. Okay. All right, so that covers the director's report, correct? Do you have any other issues or questions about that? All right. How about the assistant director's report on programs? That's Nicole's cup of tea.
Yes. So just kind of a preview of what's coming up. John Clark, our music history program, is returning in February. It's been really, really popular. So that's coming back in February. As you mentioned, the Romeo Club is starting this month. It's going to be every other Friday, and we're going to different local breakfast restaurant diners in the area. So people can call dispatch directly to get on the van for that if they want to join.
Can they drive themselves? If
They can drive themselves, yes, they can. We just ask that if they're driving themselves to call the office, just because we're going to be calling ahead.
To
just
make
so-
sure you had seating.
Right, yes. And as you also mentioned, restaurant hoppers, that filled up really quickly. So this is something that we're going to be doing the last Tuesday of every month. People can go on the van or they can drive themselves. Again, if they could call the office, just so that we can call ahead, so that people are expecting us, because it's looking like, at least for January, it's going to be a big group. We have a Super Bowl party coming up. River Court is going to be doing a St. Patrick's Day luncheon for us. Our RAD program is returning in April, which was also very, very popular.
Very popular.
We have a new podiatrist, Christine, who is starting January 13th, and she's going to be here every month. And we have some more short day trips for our van coming up. I've also been doing some research and talking to other local COAs about, the larger bus trips. There's a lot of moving parts to that, so just trying to gather all the information right now to see if it's something that would work for us in the future. But, just moving forward with more programming.
Great. Any questions for Nicole?
I would encourage everybody to take the RAD program. It doesn't matter how old you are. I'm 75, I took it, and you learn a lot, you work out a lot, you learn how to defend yourself. It's really a great program, and there were all ages the one that I took, and it's amazing what women aren't really aware of that you really should be aware of to be safe. Especially nowadays, things are a whole lot different than they used to be. So I encourage everybody out here watching take it if you possibly can.
I think that's a great point. It is.
Yeah.
I'm guilty. I have not taken it, but I've heard from yourself and others that have taken it that it's really, you hear a lot of talk about it when it's going on.
Yes, yeah.
So it is, you know,
And the instructors are really amazing.
Oh, the instructors are just,
They do a really
they're
nice job.
unbelievable. And then your last session where they're dressed up and they attack you. You know, that's just, you don't think you can, but you can defend yourself. They teach you enough so that. you
even
can-
at our age,
Even at our age.
Even
And
at my
I-
age?
And I,
at my age,
and I had heard that they were going to go easy because it was going to be a senior citizen course.
Oh.
I took it 20 years ago. It's no different than, it's just as tough. But you really learn a lot. It's worth it, I'll tell you.
as I said, I've heard a lot. I heard a lot about it when it was going on, so.
Yeah, I wanted to take it last time, but it's when I was having the eye surgery, and so I couldn't.
Well, then take it this time. You'll
Yeah,
enjoy it.
Plan to.
It's coming
I'll be
back.
the old lady in the class.
Yeah.
We had a 92-year-old lady in the class when I took it.
Oh, well, I'll be an 86-year-old.
And she did an incredible job. So, can be any age.
We have some amazing senior citizens here in town. We really do, so. Okay. Anything else? Nicole?
That's all I have.
That's all you have. That's a lot.
That's a sneak peek. I have more, but I'm not gonna.
Oh, you're not going to
That's
tell us yet, huh? Okay. Well, it's a new
Keeping
year.
secrets over there, are you?
That's okay. And since, while you were talking, the rest of the group,
Yes.
the wonderful EHS staff walked in. So we have Amy and Alicia with us, and just in time because the outreach coordinator's monthly report is on the agenda next, Amy.
Perfect timing.
So,
I timed it perfectly.
you did, you actually did, so.
So I just wanted to provide a really quick update. I don't have too much that's new. I know we've been receiving an influx in calls regarding the utility expenses that everybody is dealing with, and fuel assistance is still accepting applications. They are behind in their approval process, so it is taking a long time. But we're happy to help people through that application process and keep the communication going with them to make sure that they get approved for this season to alleviate some of that financial stress and hardship for everyone. Good Neighbor Energy Fund is another program that helps with utility expenses. It's for people that don't qualify for fuel assistance. So for those folks that fall above that income cap for fuel assistance, that's the program we can explore with them. So I really urge folks to contact us and explore whether they might benefit from either program so that we can help them get what they are able to get. That's really all I had regarding the utility expenses. Did you want to talk about?
I'll just jump up to say hello. The only thing I would add to that is just we're still doing the twice-a-month food pantry delivery. So we have one coming up this week, which is just such a great thing. If anybody wanted to get involved in that, they can always let us know if they need that delivery service from the food pantry. And then also real quick, the January through March is the Medicare Advantage open enrollment. So the general Medicare open enrollment is over, but right now is the Medicare Advantage members open enrollment. So if anybody had questions about that or wanted to look into their plan, if they do have a Medicare Advantage plan, then we can do that until the end of March. So I think that's about it.
Oh, I'm going to put you on the spot.
Sure.
If I can put you on the spot.
Yeah.
You know, just so the public and people that are watching know, we have a wonderful program offered every Thursday afternoon, presented and run by this particularly young lady up here. And she does a great job. It's called Trivia. And it is the best, and it is so, Susan and I have been attending. I think we're about it, but isn't it a great program?
It is good. It is good.
And we're looking for more
Yes.
Right.
people to join us. We have
Oh.
a pretty steady group right now, and we have so much fun. We have lots of
We
laughs.
do.
We switch up the trivia games and switch up kind of what we
Yep.
do. Not every week, but we find different things that we like.
It's a
So
great program, and it
it's a lot of
stimulates
fun.
your brain. You know, you think, it is fun. And it really is very stimulating to participate. And you don't have to know the answers all the time. Trust me, I don't, But it is, it's a great program.
Yes,
So, and
every
thank you very
Thursday.
much for running it.
Thank you for coming. Join us.
Yeah. Yes, everybody, come. It's held, it's on the second floor upstairs, but if we need the multipurpose room, we get that many people, we'll expand.
I'll get a microphone if I need it.
And
I
there's
just,
no,
I had to say something.
and there's no individual pressure either. It's
Oh, no.
usually teams or,
Teams,
Right.
or groups or whatever.
Yeah, it's not like you're put on the spot individually, ever.
No, really, we have a lot of fun, and that's what we're there
Yes.
for, so.
It's amazing how, and also brings back some interesting facts and figures that we'd forget about. So it's, it's great fun.
Thank you, Marge, for bringing that up.
Well, thank you for doing it. It's a great program. So, all right. Do we have any other questions for our assistant director and our outreach workers? You're doing a great job. And I know it's a busy time of the year, but every time of the year I think is busy, and especially, I know, with energy costs and fuel costs and all kinds of things going on right now in the whole economy. And so it's tough. It's tough on people, so,
These donations are really going to help with the energy costs going up.
yeah.
We're very fortunate to have that.
We're also very fortunate they have our electric light department.
Oh, aren't we? Oh,
yes.
you-
Yeah, as an example, the administrative assistant at the office I work at lives in a town that's west of us, and her electric bill jumped $200.
Oh,
And, I mean, compared to, I showed her what I had and what she was paying, it was just,
It's awful.
yeah.
yeah, we are
Careful
so
planning
fortunate.
and long-range planning by that department has paid off.
It has paid off. We are very
My-
fortunate.
My natural gas bill this month doubled from last month.
Oh.
So that, and I didn't use any more gas than I used last month, but the price doubled.
Wow.
So, yeah,
Yeah, well,
everybody's hurting with
everybody is.
energy.
Yeah, the economy, period. It's
And did you see Stowe, what Stowe's done with their real estate taxes?
Stowe
Stowe, they've
No.
almost doubled.
doubled their real estate
Yeah,
taxes?
I saw that.
No.
People are really upset about it and saying,
Ouch
I've
is
got to
right.
get out.
Littleton's, there's a lot of Littleton citizens that are upset.
Well,
Me being on the assessor's
Oh, me
board
too.
now.
Well, yeah.
I've been hearing a lot of people in
Well,
But
Littleton
Stowe has
who-
Stowe
it
has
went way
gotten
up.
almost doubled.
Yeah, they're worse
They were
than
really
Littleton.
bad,
Yeah.
between the assessment and the tax.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the-
Stowe and Bill Ricka really jumped,
Is that what it was?
yeah, really
Yeah.
But
bad.
as I understand it, regarding the taxes, it's the value of our property was increased.
Yeah.
And wasn't
Right.
the actual tax.
Tax rate went down, but the value's
Yeah.
increased.
So, but
Yeah.
that,
But,
it's
but
still
it
an
goes up.
increase.
But it
But there's
goes up.
still an increase. I know, I was
bill
just looking at my bill the other day and
Yeah.
looked back to
Real
last year.
estate people have to stop selling houses for as much as they do, and then things might go down a little. And there's
real estate
absolutely no fun there. See, I can't get you in the office anymore.
We have to sell more so we can get the price back down.
That, yeah, that's right. And builders have to stop building $1 million houses,
Either that or build small houses that people can afford.
Well,
but they can't afford to build them. That's the problem,
That's, yeah.
unfortunately.
I know, it's
And
a-
even now, it's worse with the cost of materials so high. They could never build a little house now.
oh, God.
There's no way.
But how can you afford a big house?
I know.
We're not gonna solve that problem right now.
Endless circle.
This whole,
It
the
is a
housing thing,
vicious
but you
circle.
hear,
It
it's
is.
more in the news now, I think, statewide, too.
I
Yeah,
think so.
it's been,
It is.
we're
It's a
hearing more
vicious
about
circle.
it. So it's not just Littleton, folks.
Oh, no, it's not just
No.
Littleton.
So don't get too upset because you think it's just Littleton. It's not.
No.
So. All right. So, are we ready to have a vote on the directors, all the reports? The director's
so
report,
move.
the assistant director's
I'll-
report. and
I'll
the
second
outreach.
it.
Moved and seconded, moved by Anita and seconded by Marilyn. Any further discussion? If not, we will take the vote. Jean?
I love the vote report.
Is a yes. Joe?
Yes.
Thank you. David?
Yes.
Marge is a yes. Anita?
Yes,
Susan?
yes.
And Lee and
Yes.
Marilyn.
Yes.
Great. All of them are approved and accepted. Thank you kindly. So we're down to, on the agenda, the old business. And the old business was the update regarding the senior center project, which I think we've covered. Would you agree with that? And Liz covered it in her, she usually gives that. And she did give us the information about where things are right now, so. Are there any questions about that? Do we need to discuss anything about that? Or are we done with that topic, do you think?
Has the other house been sold yet? I mean, are they leaving it, the house that's up there, that they have to sell to make room and do all that?
What house?
The town bought,
They're not selling
Yeah.
that house.
the town bought it.
The town
Town
bought
bought
it.
it, but they never planned to sell it.
They're not gonna do
I mean,
anything?
they're going to sell it. They're not gonna,
That's what I meant. Has that happened yet, so that
I
they
don't
can?
believe so. I don't think they've put it on the market, have they?
I was just wondering.
I
I was
don't know.
curious.
I haven't heard anything about that. But I'm sure they will when the time is right. There's a reason for it, when they're ready.
You'd know the answer to that.
Yeah.
Haven't heard a word? No.
No, I don't know either.
Okay.
But that was the plan.
Yeah, in order to build, they needed to, that's
Right.
why
They
I was.
needed- Well,
wondering.
they needed to just adjust the property, not adjust anything to
Property
do-
line.
The property line, that's all. And that takes
How long
time.
does it take to?
Oh, there'd have to be new plans drawn and everything.
Right.
Uh,
That's neat. Whatever it is.
Let me silence that.
Thank you.
How long does it, you know, they bought that piece of property so that they can slice off a piece of land and add it to the town property?
Reconfigure, they're gonna
Right.
configure the
To
lots.
reconfigure everything. So
Yeah.
how long does it take, generally speaking, if you're gonna cut up a piece of property, you know, with whatever you have to do that?
That part shouldn't take long at all, because that's just a case of, what it matters on what company you're using. They go and survey it and break it off, and after that, it should be quick. It's a case where the town owns the whole thing, so it's not a case you have to bring other people in, so I would imagine they changed that lot line, then added onto the back to keep one
Right.
acre of land, so.
Yeah.
So hopefully that part's well down the road. by now.
So that's easily done, all that's easily done?
I remember the
Because
surveyors
it
were
only
out there.
involves the
I remember
town,
that.
because they've already bought the house.
Right, right.
We heard that the surveyors were out there surveying, since, it was all decided and voted, accepted and everything.
That plan changed, though, Joe, wouldn't that have to go, it still has to go to planning board for approval, right? The lot line changes, right?
Oh, I don't know, I don't think,
It hasn't
Not
been.
sure that's
And we
on-
haven't heard about that in any of
No.
our meetings,
so,
so it hasn't happened yet.
but it will.
I was just
Good
curious.
faith. So,
It's all that behind-the-scenes stuff that's going on,
yeah, it's, and
that's
it's,
taking the time to get us to where we can dig in the ground.
right. Okay, so we are down, I think, on our agenda to new business. And the only really, we have two items. The first is board member update. Do we have any updates from board members? Nope.
No.
Well,
Did you-
not surprising, because it's been, December's kind of a slow month when it comes to things and happening and everything, so.
Well, the only thing I'll say is something that ties in with the next one, number B there, or letter B.
Okay.
Town meeting.
Is that Joe and I had fun at the town fair,
Town fair.
At the bazaar.
at the bazaar.
Yeah, we're gonna move into that.
We're getting into that, you two.
Yes, yes. So, okay,
Yeah, we had fun.
well, I think that was, I've heard, that was great. I got there finally when you two were there, so,
Yeah.
at the end of the day, but, okay. So, since no other board members have an update, that's fine. And we're gonna move on to special events and the annual town fair and the Loving Stitches Knitting Group. So, since you brought up the town fair first, let's talk about that. That was a great day. I got there very late, and I'm sorry I was unable to, I was out of town and was unable to really participate much, but it was great when I was there, so. And I know we have people that were there helping out.
It was fun.
And this year, it was a little different. The Alderman Human Services had a table, a separate table, the department had a table. And the Loving Stitches Knitting Group had a table as part of Alderman Human Services. So we had two tables at the fair, right? So, okay. And so that was a little bit different this year. Other years, the Friends the Loving Stitches Knitting Group donated the materials and things that they made all year long to the Friends, and the Friends had a table there, and they did not want to do that this year, and so we researched it, or Liz researched it with legal counsel to make sure it was okay, and so Elder and Human Services to have the table.
But
Yeah.
didn't the Friends have a table? Because
They did have the table, they had another table, yes,
Because that's what I thought, because they had stuff from the thrift, what would be the thrift shop.
right, and so they did have another table that they
Yeah.
had, yes, and so that was fine, too, and that worked out great. So, do you want to say something, Barbara?
Yeah, I would like to say something. We're sorry that there was a misunderstanding about helping from Friends, because, every year we have helped, one way or another, to, be part of the fair with all of you. And this time, there was a misunderstanding about the Friends wanting to help at the fair, because truly, we weren't asked. And if we had been asked, of course we'd help, because the knitters are very important to the Council on Aging and the town and the fair. I mean, you do great stuff. So later, we did feel kind of bad and said, gee, we weren't asked to
Well, Miss-
help this year and would have gladly, but it was announced that we would not help. And that was kind of,
That's funny, because I remember, I was present in the knitting group the day that it was brought up, and we were told that the Friends weren't going to help. It was in the group that it happened, so,
you
I don't know how
probably
come.
didn't even need us. I understand you probably had a group helping you anyway. But if someone had asked, yes.
Yeah,
we
well, there's a
would have
mix-up there too then, because, but I'm glad you brought it up, because it, yeah.
helped. But it's passed.
Well, it is in the past, and you learn from mistakes in the past, so we need to move on, and,
Yeah.
yeah, I agree with that.
We have our name in for next year to help.
Oh, you do? Wow. That's
Lord
great.
willing.
That's great.
But the knitting table had the best spot, one of the best spots
Oh, it was a great location.
was one of the best.
It's a wonderful location. I think you're right inside the door there, so.
Well, I think part of that is my fault.
Well, that's good, keep up having you do your fault.
Because David and I work with Nancy Morrison every year to lay out the gym.
That was a perfect spot. Because you could grab them coming in and grab them coming out.
Well, last year, we were able to have just the wall to
Yeah,
have the
but-
picture.
But that
And then
didn't
when we
have,
decided that we could have a table for Loving Stitches,
Yeah.
I talked to Nancy, and she definitely, EHS and COA was at the top of her list along with the churches. So that's how we got that spot.
it was a
And our
great-
name is on it for next year, so.
Great.
because it was a wonderful spot. It was.
It was. Nobody could miss us. And all the fun that you guys were having, nobody could miss that. And Alicia and I with our pants, our fancy pants. And I would just like to say thank you to Joe for stepping up, because at noontime, I got sick and needed to go home, and Joe stepped up and said that he would let me go home. And he took my place, and I really appreciate that, Joe, and I enjoyed working with David all morning. We had a good time, and we did a lot of laughing, and, but a lot of people need to be thanked.
Yes.
From the Loving Stitches, so many people donated items, too many names to mention, that did the knitting, and they need to be mentioned. And our board members that went over to Loving Stitches, like Marilyn, and helped with the EHS Loving Stitches table. Everybody worked together to do so much, and need to be thanked for
And
that.
this year, blankets went.
Yeah, you could see that go
Blankets
fast.
went this year, and usually
Wow.
they're not a big seller. I sold, one person sold, I sold 3 to one.
Wow. Good for
Really.
you. That's a good sale, Mary.
Oh, it was a great sale.
You're a good sales lady.
It was precious sales.
Precious sales. Oh, yeah.
And then Ed Knox, he really stepped up. He did.
Who's that?
Ed Knox,
Who's Ed Knox?
he's related to Joe, but I don't know how.
He's my nephew.
And
But where was he?
he was in the middle of the gym, and he had a separate table where he had gotten lots of baskets and raffle baskets.
Oh, okay.
And he had a big sign, everything goes to EHS. And he was dressed just like a Christmas tree, all decked out in red and sparkles. And I had a good time with him. I enjoyed going down and talking with him. And such a nice guy, and he did so much just to benefit us.
But the one thing I really missed at the holiday bazaar, the Christmas bazaar, holiday bazaar, whatever you want to call it, I missed Littleton High School Band and Santa Claus. I didn't even know Santa Claus was there till he left.
Really?
Yep. Always before the band came,
The band was playing all day long.
and I never even heard him.
They played all day long.
They were in a different place. They were where they usually are, where the EHS table was.
Oh,
Well,
and
where
boy,
they-
it's
they
But
such-
went
they were
back.
right in the middle.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah.
why, because usually they used to be, and they would also be down back bringing
And
Santa
Santa was
in.
where he always is,
Yeah,
down
see,
with the
I
Boy
never-
Scouts.
I even went down that way at one point to buy some raffles and, see what the St. Anne's had.
Mm-hmm.
And there was no Santa there, and I thought, where's Santa Claus? Because it was before, it was early, it was
Maybe
when
he was on break
he could have been.
Yeah.
when you went.
But, I was used to seeing all of the hoopla for him, and I didn't see it this year. That was,
I got in trouble because I told my granddaughter he was gonna be there all day.
Ooh.
And when she got there was no Santa, so.
Oh, boy, I bet you did get in trouble.
so he's-
Oh, yeah.
I think he did leave a little bit early. I don't think he stayed.
He was
till the
only
end.
there a couple hours, I think.
I only saw him leave.
That must be the problem.
And he didn't leave through the main door. He went out, when I saw him, he was walking out the back
Well, he
somewhere.
would have probably not gotten out if he'd tried to go out the main door.
I don't know.
He visited the library, you missed that opportunity too.
Oh,
Oh, make him feel worse?
You had to add that?
but you know what, Anita, you made a very good point, because there are a lot of residents and past employees of the town, et cetera, that are knitters, and they dropped things off and would leave them in the office for the group to have to, put on the table. So, a lot of support,
We also have to thank the employees,
yes,
because there was a separate table after the fair
the
set
week
up
after the fair.
at the EHS office for employees to come down and purchase items for the fair, from the fair, that they didn't, maybe. And they made like $300 just from the employees. I mean, they did.
Was it during the lunchtime or something that they came down? I don't know when it was open.
Yeah, it was just like really random. People would
Random.
come down whenever they had a minute. and
Yeah,
look
yeah,
around.
it worked out really well. Liz suggested that we leave things when it came back in on Monday, and the group meets on Monday. Just leave things out, spread out around the room, and so we did, and that was it. So I think they raised, I think she said 300,
Right.
yeah,
That's great.
which is amazing, really, when you think about it. So-
And Liz told me before she went, when we met, her and I met, that the Friends of the COA are making a donation from their table that they had. I don't know how much it is, but they are making a donation from the table that they had.
I know that Sandra wanted to make sure it was $1,000. We probably came up short just by a matter of dollars, so she was working on getting the extra to make it 1,000.
Well, thank you, friends.
Yeah,
That's
thank you
great.
to the Friends
Yeah,
for that.
Yes. Yeah. So many people deserve a lot of thanks.
Yep.
It was a great day, so, and even though I was only there a short time. Thank you, gentlemen, for helping me. We were taking stuff down, and I was trying to take some stuff back and get it into my car, and they helped me with that, too. They were great when we were breaking things down. Big help. So,
We had fun.
yeah, it's always a fun day.
You know, David, I said that you should have dressed up with a hat of Santa Claus. I think next year you have to do that, because that'll even, and Joe too with his beard, you guys can really have a good time.
I can see Joe doing it.
I could see
Dave?
Joe.
We'll see, right? Yeah, we'll see.
They can be partners in crime next year.
His beard looks better.
Yeah.
Joe's beard looks better than Santa's did.
Oh. We don't make it.
Maybe
look
he could be
good.
Santa next year.
Maybe he could.
Yeah.
I'm too grumpy.
I thought Dave was great when Dave Banks used to do it.
Oh, yeah.
I kept wanting Kathy to do it too, and she'd be the Mrs. Claus, and she wouldn't do it.
I just happened to see something up in Wells, Maine, and there was Dave Banks.
Yep. And there was an article about him in the Globe one Sunday, about his being Santa Claus,
Right.
how he used to be here and now he's up there.
Well, he belongs to this Santa organization.
Yes, yeah. I
Across
knew
the
that.
country, yep.
All right. I think we
I
have a lot
don't
to look
have
forward to
anything else
next
to
year.
say.
But I just also, I want to mention, and this has nothing to do with the town fair, but kudos and thank you to the Littleton Police, who requested that the Loving Stitches Knitting Group make them some
yes.
hats. And we did. We made,
That's
the
right.
group made like over 20, just caps. They said when they were out directing traffic or whatever, would we make some caps? And we did. And they came down here, and in this room, we had a wonderful pizza lunch they provided. We gave them their hats, and they scooped them up. And it was, they were great, there must have been, the chief was here, and there were, I don't know, how many, 4 or 5, so maybe, 6 or 7 of the officers were here. It was a great day. It was on a Monday after the fair, and I can't remember exactly which Monday it was, but thank you to the Littleton Police for supporting us and doing everything they do for us. Like the RAD program, too. So, but anyway, and that was a great event. The knitters all loved it. We had fun, the knitters provided the dessert. Police brought the pizza, and we gave them their hats, so. Okay. So that's a little active group, that knitting group. Anyone out there that wants to come join us, we meet on Mondays, 12 to 2, bring your lunch, and come and knit, or crochet, or whatever. Anything that has to do with stitching. So, except we don't have sewing machines, so. Okay. Any other comments about special events of the recent past? Nope. Do we have any other business to come before the board? Nope. All right. I'd say we're doing pretty good. It's not quite 5 minutes of 4 o'clock.
Wow.
Wow, that is good.
Isn't
Wow.
that good?
Yeah.
That's very good.
So, is there any more public input? Barbara, do you have anything else you'd like to add?
No,
Well,
thank you very
no,
much for allowing me to sit here and
Well, it's a
you're
public
always
meeting.
welcome, Barbara. You have done a lot for seniors in this town, and a lot of people realize that. Yeah.
I enjoyed it.
I know you did. I think we all do. You're a very talented person, by the way. So, and come again, please. Please do. So, okay. I can entertain a motion. We've accepted the reports. I didn't forget anything, did I? Since I was absent for a meeting. I don't know, I might be getting rusty. So, anyway, okay. I think we can move on then, and we can have a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
So moved.
So moved. We have a motion from Susan,
Right, second.
and seconded by David. Okay. Jean?
Yes.
Thank you. Joe?
Yes.
Thank you. David?
Yes.
I'll pass that back now.
Marge, yes.
Should I throw it?
Anita?
Throw that in.
Susan? Yes. Ann Lee?
Yes.
And Marilyn?
Yes.
Great. Thank you. They should be fairly easy minutes.